My buddy Chris Stevenson. How you doing, Chris?
What's going on, Pat?
All right, we're back with the network dealing with a very controversial subject. As you well know, in the last week or two, you've had the unfortunate and tragic incident of the Tucson tragedy, and we're looking at it from a controversial viewpoint of what led to this tragedy, what motivated Gerard Loeffner to become an assassin and do what he did, and what could have been the motivating factors behind it. This is a very controversial tragedy that we're seeing a lot of talk about the Tea Party and some of their inflammatory rhetoric. Do you think that the inflammatory rhetoric of the Tea Party, Chris, has played a role in creating an environment of violence against people for political reasons?
Well, there's two sides to view with this. On one hand, yes, inflammatory rhetoric has historically caused violence. You know, you can go back to Hitler, go back before then to Martin Luther. Okay? The power of suggestion is always going to work with a certain segment of the population.
Right.
On the other hand, there is a lot of people questioning the shooter of Giffords and those others who were shot a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
Jared Lee Loeffner. People are questioning his mentality. Whether he's not considered to be a sane person, not considered to be a stable person, considered he's a little bit out there.
Is he a stalker? Did he have stalker qualities?
Yeah, there seems to be some evidence of that. So I think, especially as I brought out in my column, Bullets Over Behavioral Sciences, there is some room to believe that this may not have as much to do with inflammatory rhetoric as it did, as does just an unstable person, just a stalker. So you can't don't go along with what the writer's saying. They're in denial. You can't depend on them. But
can we say, is this guy fitting the profile of an unstable person?
Yes, without a doubt.
Because he's unstable, mentally not right. If we're just assuming that he's not mentally not right.
Right.
How does the inflammatory rhetoric of a person hearing this type of rhetoric coming from the Tea Party, and a person coming under massive attack over this is former governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin?
Well, you know what? Sarah Palin is the one who targeted Giffords and 19 others for siding with Obama and the Democratic House over the healthcare bill.
Right.
So this is where Loeffner can be connected to that. He hears this and he might think, I'm doing the right thing then by stalking this woman. The great Sarah Palin doesn't like him, and she's a governor, or she was a governor.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? If you're kooky enough, if you're nutty enough to connect those kind of dots, you might do that.
So
you might be influenced.
Are we saying that the political environment of today, the want to reacquiesce to power at all costs,
sure,
do you think that the right wing has crossed the line of political rhetoric?
Yes. The right wing crossed the line a long time ago. They are coming outside of themselves now because we have a black president.
Yes.
And they are just they're saying things they're not even taking back. And it's kind of like, with me, watching them is like watching their DNA kick in.
Yes.
Because none of this, you've seen vicious attacks between left and right before, but nothing like this.
Right.
I've seen Clinton. I remember the Clinton years.
They attacked Clinton day one.
Yes.
Whitewater.
That's right.
Illegal land deals.
Yes.
Sexual exploits.
Exactly.
But nothing like
nothing like this. Nothing like this. Especially the outright disrespect and hollering and screaming at them, and the outbursts. That there are white corporate Americans who don't want to hire people, even though they actually got stimulus money. Okay, because we don't want to see that. We don't want it to look like that black president put people to work. Okay, there are Republican politicians who don't want to send money, who didn't want to release money to black farmers or to Haitians, or even to the police officers or service workers, firemen, teachers, because they viewed, oh, this is Obama's bill, therefore we'll just let these people suffer. So a lot of race is at the bottom core of a lot of these things.
Yes. Why has America failed to deal with this particular issue? No matter what, they've tried to sugarcoat their dislike of President Obama with other things, Obamacare and things of that nature, and not looking at the reality of the bill. Is money the biggest thing behind this? Because America already has universal health care.
Right.
And that's the thing that bothers me the most about health care. You would rather repeal covering 34 million Americans.
Sure.
You still got 16 million out there that you're still treating, and it's coming back on the taxpayer. Yeah. But you would prefer to have 48 million Americans not covered.
Exactly.
That doesn't make...
It makes no sense.
No
sense. A lot of the decisions that they made, that they're making nowadays, have no logic to it whatsoever. And it's emotion first.
But is the rhetoric words? Do words lead to action and violence?
Yes. Look at one of the words that instigated this. They're losing their country. We're losing our country.
That can make you want to go to... That's what led to the revolution.
Right. Exactly. Now, when certain white people say their country, that's like you saying your house.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Defend it at all costs.
Yeah. If you knew somebody was going to attack your house and take over, you would lock down. You get your whole family to safety or whatever, or just have your you and your people be inside, prepared to do battle.
Right.
That's how they're looking at this. Okay, so it's actions, real actions taken as a result of imaginary scenarios. Okay, their country being taken from them. Well, who runs the infrastructure? Does Obama run it?
Right.
Do black people run it?
Right.
Okay, who runs the American economy? Black people spend $900 billion a year.
Right. We're consumers.
We're consumers. We don't run anything hardly.
So what are you losing?
Exactly.
You're still in control.
Right.
The military-industrial complex has done more harm to the average American citizen in the last 10 years than any other conglomerate group that you're stating, Obamacare and whatever care you want to say.
Exactly.
But you don't hear the right wing attacking the military-industrial complex. And historically, they have gone away from their own base against the military-industrial complex. Right. Because if you remember, the person that began heavy criticism of the military-industrial complex historically was Dwight David Eisenhower as he was leaving the presidency. Yeah. And he said there is a coming group of people in place that are going to hurt America. And he was an ex-Army general and an ex-president. Yeah. And he said that when he was leaving the office of president, the dangers of the military.
And that's something to think about, especially coming from a man of his stature.
Yes, sir.
And understand one thing. When we're here today is 2011. Military-industrial complex is soaking up money.
Yes.
Okay? What have they done to earn it?
Nothing.
That's the thing. Say, for example, the medical industry earns their money.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So they have the right to treat people, whether charge them or not charge them. Okay? That's the money they earn. We talk about the health industry. All right? The military deals with defense. And understand that the military industry and defense industry are two separate industries.
Right.
That's another thing. Look at how much they cost. None of these right-wing people are questioning this.
No. You don't hear very little attack against the military-industrial complex.
Exactly. Exactly.
And with Obamacare, getting to the two of them, there's very little attack against the pharmaceutical industrial complex of hooking people on prescription medications, lowering the level. Now people that weren't diabetic 20 years ago are now diabetic and on medication.
That's right.
You know, so things are definitely changing.
Oh, yeah.
Let's look at the assassin.
Mm-hmm.
There have been talk about him possibly being part of the covert MK-Ultra illegal human research program, which is run by the Office of Scientific Intelligence. Have you heard anything on that?
I've heard about that. You know, I put a link on my article on that on Hub Pages. There's a young lady, Miss Maxey. She talked about that. She went and got some research on this and talked about MK Ultra. The thing about MK Ultra, it's been used before, and it seems to be a very powerful tool or weapon, silent weapon, and it is strongly suspected to be what influenced John Muhammad.
Right.
Back in 2005, I think it was.
Right.
In Melbourne, especially John Muhammad.
Right. Unexplained murders.
Yeah.
People saying, I don't remember what I did
after
the murder. They get in the courtroom. Why'd you do what you did? I don't know.
I don't know.
You know, if people want to look at something that'll give you an idea what we're talking about, MK Ultra, you can watch the 2 movie. It was remade a couple of years ago with Denzel Washington, Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah.
It was originally made with Frank Sinatra. Playing, that years ago. That was the first version of the Manchurian Candidate, and that's the MK. That's how long the MK Ultra program has been around.
I think it started in the 40s or something like that originally.
Government-sponsored assassination. What were you saying? Once you carry out the act, you didn't make sure you're destroyed.
That's right.
So, in actuality, our guy did not finish his duty because he wasn't killed.
Right. That's right.
He looks crazy enough.
He looks like a
picture of him is bizarre.
Yeah.
But hey, we're going to talk more about this on the network next week. We're talking about the controversy involving the Tucson assassination, and do words lead to violence? That is the thought of today. And should all people consider what they say in the results? Look at history. Nazi Germany under Hitler, what you brought up, Mussolini and the fascist rise in Italy. All of that was created by propaganda and words.
Yeah, that's right.
So words are dangerous.
Oh yeah, and on the subject of talk radio in conclusion, also remember the Rwandan massacre.
Yes.
What started that was talk radio.
Yes.
So don't think that none of this stuff is impossible. Oh, we can't. That'll never happen to us.
All right. Hey, that's all for us here on the network. We'll see you next week right here from the network. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you next week on the network.